Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick2, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a Pyromancer build that is the absolute best build in the entire game for clearing CT15s as fast as humanly possible. This build currently holds the world record for not only the fastest boomtown in the game, but also the fastest chem plant in the entire game. There's going to be gameplay of that at the end of the video. This video is a little bit different as the build and the gameplay is actually from a friend of mine, Fight Element, as he was actually kind enough to show me this gameplay and show the build to you guys. Since I don't currently, have the gear to be able to make the build myself, but also he's put in clearly a ton of time and effort to get these world records. And that's just something that I am not going to do, So I thought it would just be cool to show it to you guys. A link to his channel will be in the description, so if you guys want to see whenever he breaks a record again, or if he ends up changing the build, I'd highly recommend subscribing to him. Anyways, big thanks to him, and as you can see, the build is insane, so let's just jump right into it. Before we get into it, I would like to thank today's sponsor for helping support me so I can continue to make content for a living. And that sponsor is Deving. If you feel like you're struggling with certain expeditions, maybe you're having a hard time making the perfect build, or maybe you just don't have enough time to level that third character, Deving.net has you covered. They offer boosts for not only Outriders, but also all kinds of other games such as Division 2 and Destiny 2. With Deving, you can choose to get help with anything you're currently having trouble with, so if you need that perfect build, maybe you just want to get it to CT15, whatever it is, you can easily do that on the site. The way that the boost works is through account sharing, so they do everything for you without any use of cheats or any bug abuse, so you can 100% trust that they get the job done legitimately, and with over 20,000 reviews and a 4.9 score on Trustpilot, you can completely trust that you're getting your money's worth. If you're interested, feel free to check the link in the description and make sure to use code NICK2 for 15% off on any purchase, and if you have any questions, you can always just contact an operator on the site to be able to help you out. That said, thanks to Deving for sponsoring the video and helping make sure that I can do this for a living, and let's just get right into the video. So just hopping right into the build, I'm pretty much just going to be glancing over everything and explaining why he's running things the way that he is. Obviously, top tier looks a little bit weird. I'll explain the reasoning for all of that. Real quick before I get into it, I just want to say if you like the video and it helps you out, please make sure to drop a like. It helps me out a ton. I know a good few of you guys aren't really going to be particularly fond of the advertisement that is in this video. I apologize for that. Truthfully, this is what I do for my full-time job, and getting sponsorships like that helps ensure that I can do this long-term so I can keep providing videos for you guys. So if you like the video, please make sure to drop a like. It helps me out a ton. But without all that out of the way, let's just get right into it. So as you can see, skill tree is a little bit weird, right? Why are we going top tree? The main reason for this is I'm not actually in game, so my apologies for this. I can't hover over it, but basically these nodes right here, you get damage to Ash and then extra damage to Ash here, and then you also get cooldown reduction on Immobilized twice for Ash Blast. And then additionally, you get whenever you inflict Ash on an enemy, it also applies vulnerability. That's basically the main reason for this. Also, you get some additional anomaly power with this node up here. That's pretty much the main reason that he's doing this, is that it actually ends up netting you more damage and getting all of the stuff down here. It's not by a lot of extra damage, but if you're trying to speedrun, this is what you're going to want to set up with. You could actually use this build pretty much just the same going bottom tree, but this is going to allow you to just output more damage and be able to pretty much just like one-shot everything like he is in the gameplay, and you'll be able to see that. And then he also just goes down here for Wildfire for some more cooldown reduction, also gets some health, skill leech, and cooldown reduction on top of that. You could even decide to forgo this skill leech node here and go for some anomaly power or something else, but I would imagine he's already thought about this, then it's probably not worth it for him. Maybe if anything, you go like 5% extra damage enemies fire right here for this gifted node, but skill leech is fine, whatever, doesn't really matter. That's pretty much it for the skill tree. I'd pretty much just take a screenshot of it. In terms of the skills, obviously it's Heat Wave, Overheat, and Ash Blast. He pretty much quickly glances over all of this. I didn't ask him to get separate recording for this. Maybe I should have, but we should be able to cover everything pretty quickly. I'm just going to keep having to press play and stop, but it's all good. So for the main weapon, he's using a Funeral Pyre with Fortress and Shadow Comet. The reason it's on a Funeral Pyre is because it's a larger magazine size, also has a little bit faster RPM than something like a Death Shield would. But the reason for Shadow Comet just does a whole bunch of damage. And then he has a Death Shield with Moaning Winds. You pretty much want to have Fortress on both of these because it's going to scale the damage of your skills. And then Moaning Winds is so that when you swap to it, it just does a whole bunch of single target damage. This is one of the main things that is almost mandatory for this build if you're trying to do the runs really quickly, because this enables you to kill the elites very fast. And then the same thing on the pistol. He has a clip combustion. God, this is... Why you gotta go over it so fast here, Fight? All right. Okay. He has a clip combustion pistol with Moaning Winds. This is like highly optimal. You don't actually need clip combustion. It does a little bit of damage. You can actually get this on Torment and Agony. He just has it on a revolver because the revolver you can you know, empty the mag a lot faster than you can with the, you know, like 40 round mag size or whatever is on the Torment Agony. So that's pretty much the main reason for this. I would just put Moaning Winds on your pistol if you could. And then he's going to be using 3-piece Akari, pretty obviously. Some things are clearly optimized for this build for speedrunning, so like this build isn't going to have any defensive mods, and I'm also going to be talking to you guys as if you know a lot about Akari builds, etc. If you're looking for a more introductory thing, I would watch my other Pyromancer builds, but pretty much going to be talking about a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you can swap out with this build, but this is how he has it set up. You could very easily swap in, you know, add in a defensive mod, add in etc. if you don't have certain things, but Death Sentence and Fire Tsunami, so you can hit more enemies with the Heat Wave, apply more debuffs with Burnt Out, and then Death Sentence allows your overheats pretty much to do additional damage, and your weapon mods, etc. when enemies have Ash on them. Pair this with all the extra damage to Ash. Pretty much your main bread and butter is Ash blasting, and then once they're Ashed, you just do a whole bunch of extra damage. I unfortunately don't have Death Sentence yet, but it's probably like the best mod for this build. And then that's on the helmet. Then he's using the Akari chest piece with Detonator and Tidal Wave, so he can use another Heat Wave, but also the cooldown is lower on Overheat. Pretty simple. And then on the pants, he's using the Anomaly and Echo pants with Burnt Out. Pretty mandatory here. Anomaly Echo is one of the things that you could swap out, and you could just use the boots instead, so that you're not stuck with Anomaly Echo. That way you could get another defensive. You lose a little bit of damage, but ultimately it doesn't make too much of a difference. But this is what he's using, just I think for more consistency's sake. But if you wanted to do that, that is also an option. But Burnt Out, another mandatory mod. Anomaly Echo isn't even good, but it's just what you're stuck with it being on the pants. And then on the gloves, oh, that was fast, dude. On the gloves, okay. All right, hold up. Professional YouTuber here. On the gloves, he has AP cooldown reduction status power. That is what you want on all of your purples. Then you have Ash Blast, increase the range of the skill, mandatory, and then Captain Hunter to do a little bit more damage to elites. If you're playing in a group, you could swap Captain Hunter out for an additional Heat Wave, because it pretty much would do the exact same thing. However, you don't use the third Heat Wave when you're playing solo for speedrunning, because that results in more cast time, and it's a lot faster to just have the flat damage all of the time anyways. And then on the boots, he has AP cooldown reduction status power, Master Consumer, which is another mandatory mod. Pretty much you do extra damage with your overheat whenever the enemy has Ash or Burn on them, or both. Pair this with all the other stuff, Death Sentence, etc. Able to do just an absolute ton of damage here. And then Untamed Power. A lot of things you could swap out. You could swap out Untamed Power. You could swap out Captain Hunter for like Ashen Boost. There's a good amount of things that you could play around with this build, but this is pretty much how he has it set up, and this is what's best for speedrunning. So that's pretty much it. The other build that I uploaded like yesterday is pretty much the same as this. However, this is just top tree. This is also getting rid of all the defensive mods, and then there's a couple things a little bit differently. But there's a lot of different ways you could set this up. The main difference here is that he's running top tree, and then you actually have to like time your cooldowns. You can see in the gameplay, but basically how you want to play this build is just make sure you get enough stacks with your heat waves, and then you have to make sure to time your overheats with your Ash Blast so that you have enough anomaly power, and that you also can actually do enough damage to one-shot the entire map. That's pretty much it. Enjoy the gameplay. Big thanks to Fight Element again. Subscribe to him. Found the video helpful or whatever, please ensure to drop a like and subscribe for videos similar to this one. And I will see you guys later.
The elevator should lead to the heart of the facility.